Welcome to Real Truth Real Quick. My name is Rick Smith. I'm here with Todd Wagner. How you doing, Todd?
I'm well, thank you.
Well, today we're talking about natural disasters, things like hurricanes, floods, earthquakes. Why does God allow something like, He could stop it. Why does He allow it to happen?
Well, let's just start because it's so interesting. Whenever these things hit, insurance companies, what do they call this? They say we don't insure against acts of God sometimes, right? And so like, hey, that to be honest, isn't it a shame that we blame God for hurricanes, earthquakes, and other natural disasters that happen? Well, let me just start by saying this. Let's acknowledge a few things. There was a flood in Genesis 7 that covered the whole earth. That was an act of God, for sure. There was an earthquake in Numbers 16 that affected the sons of Korah. That was an act of God, for sure. There was fire that consumed priests that were offering a sacrifice inappropriately. In Leviticus chapter 10, it's mentioned. There are places in Scripture, in Revelation chapter 6, we see famine, and death and disease and pestilence are going to come. Hail even from heaven is going to destroy and bring great sorrow to people that are acts of God. I think sometimes people go, gosh, is every time a hurricane or an earthquake happen, is it because God's bringing judgment? And the answer to that would be absolutely not, in the sense that it happened in Genesis 7 and Numbers 16. But let's just say this. In Romans 8, the Bible just says that creation itself is subjected to futility. In other words, God didn't intend it this way. There were no earthquakes and tornadoes and floods in Eden, okay? But it says that creation itself has become subjected to these things because of him who subjected it, meaning the one that God had given dominion to rule over the earth. When we gave ourselves away to not walk in relationship with God, then all of creation, which is held together by him, has moved increasingly towards chaos. And it says in verse 22 of Romans 8, that says, all of creation now groans and suffers the pains of the world not as it should be. And it longs for redemption.